Well, hello there. What an interesting turn of events that we have. It's been it's been a long, weird road for us. Like this whole year has been really up and down, really topsy turvy. Like we don't know what the fuck's going on. So let me bring you up to speed. Uh, 2 weeks ago, a little more than 2 weeks ago, uh, I I applied. Well, I didn't apply. I certified for my unemployment benefits like I typically do. And for whatever reason, I didn't get them. So I just assumed that for whatever reason, I was no longer eligible. And it's like, I'll have to look into it. It was going to be this whole fucking thing. So I tried to call as many people as I could, but unemployment people, they only deal with people in the mornings from like 9 to 12. So, like, it's really hard to get in touch with somebody. I also ended up getting a letter from Intercon saying, hey, we have hours available if you want them. So I assumed that I was no longer eligible for my unemployment because Intercon had decided that they wanted to say we have hours in like a different city, so technically there's work available, and they were looking to just undermine me getting it. So I ended up talking to the unemployment guy today, and apparently what's going on was some big time fraud shit. Like, they didn't have nothing to do with me, and that's why I'm not even concerned about it. But here's what happened, and here's where we stand. If you've ever worked in the security field, what happens is a client will pay a security firm X amount of money. In this case, we're going to say it's $50 an hour. I think it's more. But for this example, it's $50 an hour per guard, per head. So they send them out there to do their work. And the company says, okay, security guard, here's your slice of it, minimum wage. And then the rest is to cover insurance and like 401k and all of that other shit. But the company typically makes anywhere from like 30 to $35 an hour per guard to do nothing other than to supply guards. So what ended up happening was, if you remember, let's fast forward all the way back at the beginning of the year when we were first talking about how this new company was going to be taking over my building, and it was like, oh, what are we going to do? And I was going through the motions and applying, and we went through all the extra shit to try to get in there, and it didn't work out. Whatever. What they're saying, what ended up happening was I applied, I never ended up working for the new company. But what happened was the company had my name and information, and they were charging the building that I used to work at like I was there. So they were getting $50 an hour a day for me to be there, and I wasn't there. So they were like, wait a minute, why are we paying this guy this much, but also he's getting unemployment? Something's not right. So they put a hold on the unemployment to figure it out. But it really wasn't an issue on my end. It's the company's problem because they were charging the client for a guard they didn't have. So rather than deal with the fact that technically that's fraud or embezzlement, like there's a lot of things that go into that. They shouldn't have done that, and it could be some legal issues if I don't work there. So the best way to make sure that they don't have any legal issues is to let me work there. So now steps are being taken to put me back in the building that I used to be in, doing the exact same job that I used to do, but for more money. So it looks like I'm going back to work. I talked to my former captain today, and he was just like, yeah, man, we can pencil you back in as long as the company says it's cool. And then the company called me, and they were just like, yeah, well, you're scheduled, like, you're clear to work at a state building. And, like, that's just, like, that's not for everybody. Not everybody qualifies for that. Like, not everybody gets past the background checks, you know? So they were like, yeah, you're clear to work there. Let's just get you a uniform. Let's get you in there. So they're going to get me a uniform and get me in there. And I'll just be going back to work. doing the same shit I used to do, which is cool. So it's up in the air right now as I sit around and I wait for them to figure out what they want to do and how we're going to take care of it. But it's what's most comfortable about it for me is, let's say, for the sake of argument, it didn't work out. Like, this just wasn't a thing. They're like, nope, sorry, it's completely on your end, Patrick. You were wrong. We can't let you work here, and also you don't qualify for unemployment. Would be a fucking bummer, but it in no way impacts the plans that we have financially moving forward. Because Asia does well enough where we can live off of what she does. And then Kari's doing well for himself, so we can live off what's here without me ever having to go back to work. So me going back to work is just icing on the cake, So, because my captain gets off at 2, I'm not expecting to hear from him anymore today. Like, he's done. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be a thing in the morning. Like, they just need to figure out how they're going to get me the uniform and let me get back to work. But yeah, going back to work. Going right back to the same building I was in. So, that should be interesting. Let's go.